I want to see what the problem with Gen Z is.
Have you ever tried to have a conversation with someone, but every time you try to get a word in, someone else comes along and talks over you? That's kind of what it's like being Gen Z. Even though we're all grown up now, every time we try to talk, someone older comes along to tell us to shut up.
True.
It's kind of annoying, honestly. Every week, some glorified blogger calling themselves a journalist writes an article talking about everything wrong with our generation. But the moment any one of us tries to speak up, there's 5 more people telling us why we're wrong.
True.
Disagreements between different generations isn't a new thing, but when you're Gen Z, you're stuck in this weird position where nobody respects your opinion.
It's like you're like the youngest or middle child, bro. It's the worst.
But they always feel a need to insert themselves in your conversation. We're at the bottom of the totem pole beneath the washed up millennials and our Gen X parents.
Washed up millennials is crazy, bro. We got any millennials in here? Hi, little old people.
And there's also the baby boomers.
Okay.
But they're kind of on the way out. I don't sit here and pretend to know what it's like to be Gen X or a millennial, but everyone seems to think they know what it's like to be Gen Z. I understand that you were my age once too, but believe it or not, things are different. Don't act like when you were my age, you didn't have to turn your phone backwards to take a selfie. I noticed that the people who do this the most tend to be millennials. Probably because before we became the worst generation, they were the ones who got all the hate.
True. Maybe they just taking it out on us, bro.
And I will admit,
I mean, wait, I'm 42. Never mind. I'm not a part of
a lot
that.
of their experiences are similar to ours. But instead of being chill about it, a lot of millennials just come off as bitter. Rejected again, bro. How hard is it to find a new job these days? Nobody wants to hire anybody young. Hey man, at least they didn't ghost you this time like most companies. I still haven't heard back from that one place. Wow.
Oh God.
Looks like Gen Z is finally starting to figure it out. Welcome to the real world, kids. This isn't anything new. I remember when they told us, just go to college, get your degree, and it'll all work out. All lies.
Jesus Christ.
You might as well give it up now. There's no hope
This hits way too close to home. Oh my God, I'm getting flashbacks from when I used to work at Home Depot.
for the future. You get that degree and no one wants to hire you. So you end up working a soul-sucking customer service job like this for 10 years. Then your girlfriend leaves you because she says the spark is gone, but
Oh
you're
my
too
God,
drained.
this has to be like a personal account. This is real accurate, dude. I'm not even gonna lie to you. This hurts to watch.
Even care. Now you drown your sorrows with video games and
Oh
a
my.
geek bar every night. But at least they added Goku to Fortnite, so you have something to live for. Hey, are you guys even listening to me? What was that guy talking about over there? I don't know. Bro thinks we're listening to that yap sesh. Facts, bro. Yo, check out this girl that DM'd me yesterday. Oh, she kind of bad though. I'm saying. I think that
Just ignore it, bro. Shut your ass up. No one cares, dude. Move. You've been here this long. You never got a raise or a promotion. The problem, you get your dumb ass out of here.
relationship between millennials and Gen Z is interesting because they went through the same things we're going through only a few years before. But our experience
Also, kind of worse, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I feel like Gen Z has it way worse, bro.
are still drastically different in some areas. Computers and the internet started taking over the world when they were teens and young adults, while we were born into the digital age. Social media changed the way they communicated with each other, and it changed the way we grew up entirely. I've noticed that while the average Gen Z mind is filled with TikTok brain rot and Vine references, millennials as a generation seem to carry a lot of angst. I suppose that being the first generation of the digital
Almost like a little like elitist walking around, dude, for sure.
era,
What year were you born? I'm 42, so you gotta minus that by whatever.
came into a world that promised them a lot and didn't really deliver.
1927. My fault. I'm sorry. I keep on pausing chat. Shut the up. Ask me dumbass questions.
Seem to carry a lot of angst. I suppose that being the first generation of the digital era, millennials came into a world that promised them a lot and didn't really deliver on any of it.
True. The only difference is Gen Z sees the bullshit, bro. Gen Z knows now. You know what I mean? They're like, bro, get the out of here, man. I'm not buying that bullshit. You know what I mean? And then millennials are mad that you're not buying into the bullshit. Like, what are we talking about?
They watched the rules of the world change, while every generation before them told them it was their fault. They were the young, dumb kids once, and now Gen Z is walking in their footsteps and calling them old.
I don't even want to say that, bro. I want to say Gen Z is somehow more informed. Maybe it's because like motherfuckers grew up with the internet. Maybe it's there's like a lot of information out there, but I feel like a lot of motherfuckers just know. Nah, that's bullshit. You don't agree, Spooky? Oh my God, we got some old people, and I'm sorry. It's cool you love millennials. It's okay. I love you regardless, okay?
I think that deep
Kenji, you are the same age as my mom's son. Kenji panic.
Oh, really? That's awesome, bro. Show your mom my hat. I think she'll really like it. You want to show her to her? And then maybe I can be your stepdaddy. Okay, I'm sorry.
down, Gen Z does have a lot of respect for millennials for being the ones who walk so we could run. Even though they are kind of cringe, they're some of the only people who understand what it's like to be in our position.
True.
I think a lot of us just wish that they'd spend less time lecturing us like we're still a bunch of dumb kids and speak to us like adults.
True.
A lot of us might still be
Okay, to be fair though, from their POV, right? Think about it like this. You're seeing a bunch of dumbass little kids running around talking about some skibbity. Wait. Does that count? Does Gen Z fall into that category? No? Okay, perfect. Thank God.
young, but ultimately millennials are some of our biggest allies
Gen Alpha's fucking terrible. Anyone that's a part of Gen Alpha, ugh, you're disgusting. Just kidding.
when we aren't arguing about who grew up with the better childhood. Millennials also need to learn that sometimes you just gotta let young people have things. We've all seen that one 35-year-old still trying to cling to their youth, making everything awkward. Like, chill, Unc. We know you don't really listen to Cardi like that. It's time for you to get into jazz. The other group Gen Z tends to interact a lot with are Gen X. Mainly because for most of us, this is the generation our parents belong to.
Whoa.
Gen X is really interesting because they're kind of like a hybrid between the baby boomers that came before them and the millennials that came after them. They tend to be a little more progressive and open-minded like millennials, but they also have tendencies that remind you that they're still an older, more traditional generation. What's wrong, son? You don't seem like yourself. Yeah, it's just, things have been kind of hard lately. I wouldn't say I'm depressed, but I just don't feel okay. Well, son, you can always talk to me about how you feel. Your mental health is just as important as your physical health. Wow, really? Thanks, Mom.
W,
Of
Mom.
course. In fact, I think I know what your problem is. You
Oh no.
do?
Oh no.
Yeah. It's because you're always on that damn phone.
God
I swear,
damn
your
it.
generation
I knew it was
is just
coming.
addicted to technology.
I knew it was
and
coming,
that's
bro.
why you have so many mental health issues. Back in my day, we used to actually talk to people.
So I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I feel like there's some truths. Like, brother, when I can just go outside, put the phone down, you know what I mean? I just be like sometimes looking up, you know what I mean? Laying down, like, wow, maybe mom was right. Maybe it was just the phone, you know? And then my phone rings and I could see a little charge on my account talking about some rent due. My fucking rent came out and I'm broke and now I'm back to reality. I'm gonna go scroll on TikTok for 15 hours.
Where are you going? Sit back down. I'm turning this into a lecture. Gen X is kind of in the position the baby boomers were in when the millennials were our age. A lot of them are the ones interviewing us for jobs, running the businesses we work in, and are now running to represent us in our government. Think about that. Our
We're
parents are now the ones running the country. Gen X are the last generation who grew up without the internet, so their generation has a very unique perspective. They're still really old school and don't always understand things like social
What
media,
is a yacht?
video games, and pop culture.
Getting
But
her
they can
act
at least
together.
open a PDF on their own after you show them how. But as much as I make fun of my parents for not knowing about newer technology, I still have to ask my mom how to address an envelope whenever I need to mail something. The contrast between Gen Z and Gen X is really starting to show because now that Gen Z has reached adulthood, our ideas about life are starting to clash. We've grown up seeing people making careers out of things we used to call hobbies. And while a lot of us want to pursue something we're passionate about, our Gen X parents don't always understand. At least not until you start making money for
Literally that. You show them a paycheck, they'll be like, what? Like, dude, it's so like that. It's kind of crazy. You kind of got to prove them wrong, but like, it is what it is. Because you got to think about it from your parents' POV, right? Your parents just want you to be successful. And when they're gone, they want to make sure you're good. You know what I mean? If you could provide for yourself, I think they're fine with it 100%. But I think they're always just want you to go like the standard route, go to college, get a degree, get a good job. You know what I mean? And I think it comes from a good place, but they just don't understand. 2025 is different, bro. You can really make a way like however you want. It's crazy.
from it. Mom, Dad, I have something I want to tell you. Oh, honey, it's okay. Your father and I always knew you liked boys. Wait, what? No, I'm not coming out. I just think I really want to pursue a career in music. I think I have what it takes to make it. Oh, son, are you sure? You know we support whatever you do, but maybe we should try something a bit more realistic.
Yep.
Yeah, like what happened when you wanted to be a doctor? Dad,
You see what I'm saying, bro?
the last time I said that I was 4. Besides, one of my songs blew up last month and I made 20K on Spotify. Well, why didn't you just say that? You need to hop in the booth. Wait, stay still. I need to take a picture for
Literally.
everyone on Facebook. My little baby, a hip hop superstar.
Literally, facts. parents. Oh my God, this is crazy.
I still remember when I used to change your diapers. Mom, I know how frustrating it can be when it seems like your parents don't support your goals, but I try to remember that they only have our best interest at heart. And for a lot of Gen X, financial security is really important. It seems like parents switch up once you're finally making money, but it's just their way of knowing that you're gonna be okay without them.
Exactly what I said,
reaching
bro.
adulthood, and as more of us become adults, I think we are beginning to realize that something is different about us. We're coming in as the most educated generation, we're far less likely to commit crime, and we're also more racially and culturally diverse compared to previous generations. But there is this stigma of Gen Z being the generation of hypersensitive, moody, depressed adult.
Actually true. There's some truth in that. I don't care what you say. There is some goddamn truth. Brother, one look at social media, you can see that for a fact. I feel like you can say like, okay, the world is getting a little bit more progressive. You know what I mean? People are starting to open their eyes and becoming a little bit more aware of people's feelings and stuff like that, which is cool. But also I feel like there's a turn point where it just goes extreme because we got some little sensitive little.
Millennials had oat milk lattes and avocado toast, and Gen Z has mental health days and antidepressants. I think we're going through what boomers went through with cigarettes. Everyone knew that smoking was bad, but didn't realize it was that bad until doctors began linking it to lung cancer. And while hardly any members of Gen Z actually smoke cigarettes, I think we're beginning to see the effects of the first generation raised on social media and YouTube videos.
True.
Don't get me wrong.
Actually,
I'm not
true. What the
like
oh my
a
God.
parent saying the reason you're depressed is because of that phone. What I'm saying is, despite all of these different ways to connect with others online, the world seems like it's becoming more individualistic.
True. Actually true. Chat, I think we can all agree. Motherfuckers is lonely. Or maybe you can't agree, whatever the but it's lonely out here, dude. When the lights turn off, bro, there's no one there. You're looking at your phone. Like it's, I don't know. Maybe it's all the dopamine that you get from your phone and then instantly like the real life kind of hit. I don't know, bro.
We're trading genuine community for online interaction, and I think Gen Z is the biggest casualty of this. We live in a weird time now where everyone feels like they don't owe anyone anything, not even kindness or respect.
True.
Everyone has walls up and they don't want to let people
33
in.
months.
That's why I think Gen Z is stuck in a loneliness epidemic. And the solution is a bit more complicated than I think people realize. Older generations always preach, young people need to get out there and make friends the old-fashioned way. But even in traditional settings, it can still be hard to connect with people. Okay, team, that's a wrap on that section of the meeting. Does anyone have any questions?
Everybody pulls out their
you
phone.
In the back. Are there any social events in the office? I've just been here a few months and still feel like I don't really know anybody. Oh, that is a great question, young man. We actually have a social event next Wednesday at noon. We're doing 90s trivia. You should come. That sounds great, but I was born in 2000. I don't know anything about the 90s. Ooh, let's put a pin in that. And we'll circle back and try to synergize a solution. Maybe give others a chance to piggyback on that. Even within Gen Z, if you're not someone who's interested in spending your weekends partying or drinking, it's hard to even hang out casually with others. Even dating has a lot of Gen Z feeling really confused. I hear a lot about how Gen Z is very sex negative. And a lot of research shows that Gen Z on average is having a lot less sex compared to other generations.
Me, I'm a virgin.
Obviously, the lack of genuine in-person connections makes it difficult to find a partner. But I also think a lot of Gen Z simply doesn't want to participate in hookup culture either. But social media makes it seem like everyone does these things, and that you should too. And if you aren't, you're weird or a Puritan because you simply don't enjoy hooking up with someone random. So it's not a surprise that a lot of Gen Z adults walk around full of guilt and insecurity from a lifetime of comparing themselves to others on social media. Oddly enough, I don't think Gen Z is avoiding sex or clutching their pearls like a Southern grandma at the thought of sleeping with someone.
Maybe it's just hard to have a genuine connection with someone. Everything's so surface value and superficial, especially when people only care about your online presence and how you're perceived online, your followers. It's a lot, bro. And it's kind of sad. This is such a good video though. Holy chat.
We've had so much sex thrown at us through hookups and adult models desperate to get you to click on their link in bio that I think a lot of us just desire something real. It's damaging for all young people, but speaking as a guy, I think a lot of young men don't have a relationship with women outside of adult content and one-night stands. So a lot of Gen Z is just seeking closeness with another person. With how hard it is to connect with others now, a lot of us are seeking a kind of intimacy on a more personal level before a physical one. You know, I was thinking we could have a little more fun. What did you have in mind? We could keep the party going in your bed. Oh, I like the sound of... Hello? Bro, new update just dropped. We running it or what? Tell him you're busy. I'm already there, bro. Send an invite.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Yo, chat, I'm not gonna lie to you. Look. This might be weird, but like when I'm talking to a girl, I feel like I could smash, I could hit. My attraction's gone immediately. I don't know why. I have no idea. But like as soon as I know I could, I'll be like, ah, whatever. Like why? I don't know. You talk to girls, I get chat. I'm good looking. Ignore this model. I'm Mr. Okay, but like I lose all attraction when there's like no, not even like a chase, but just when it's like it feels too easy. You know what I mean? It's like you giving the coochie out already, ho.
All right, bro, I need a 30-piece with a side of fries. You got me? Oh, on me. I cracked two, bro. They're one shot in there. They're one shot. Another big thing people say about Gen Z is that we're very sensitive, which people usually say to me we're easily offended by things. And I will admit that there are some younger people who need to grow some thicker skin, but I think that this is a reflection of the reality that Gen Z is a generation that wants to create a culture of respect. The average Zoomer is probably a bit more aware of people's cultural sensitivities compared to previous generations.
I feel like a lot of it is bullshit though. I seen a fucking video. Some white dude was like in a fucking sombrero. He had like little maracas or whatever the f. He went to a college campus, like, is this offensive? And everybody's like, yeah, you're appropriating culture. And then he went to some Mexicans, like, is this offensive? And like, no, I love it. Like, they were getting excited, you know what I mean? I feel like it's some bullshit. That's crazy. I don't care what the f you say, bro. I saw that video. You seen it? I remember that. Yeah, dude. I feel like sometimes it's a little too much. Like, shut your ass up, dude.
And I think in general, Gen Z values empathy and emotional intelligence in their relationships. But it also seems like now that we're older, being nonchalant is the new trend. And I think it's also what's pushing us further apart from each other. Connecting with other people requires you to open yourself up and be vulnerable with others. But a lot of people are so afraid of getting hurt that they'd rather pretend to not care. But this doesn't really work for everyone, because a guy like me will be like, whatever, I don't care, and then I'll go home and cry. But despite all of this, there are still a lot of us who aren't on the same page when it comes to what's acceptable nowadays. We've all got that one friend with no filter that you can't take anywhere. Bro, it's good to see you again. Glad we can catch up. Facts, bro. Life's been crazy. You been good though? Yeah, bro, you know me. I've just been chilling. You? Man, let me tell you about this one coworker that's been getting on my nerves. Ah, man, that's the worst. Yeah, I can't stand her fat self. Like, honestly, bro, these fat girls need to shut up. Like, it's always fat people hating on me. Like, low-key, bro, if you're fat, you shouldn't vote. They should put up a scale at the voting booth, and you can't come in if you're too fat. What's everybody looking at? But on the other side of things, there are also a lot of
literally my whole family though. I'm not gonna lie to you.
People who try to use their understanding of emotions to take advantage of people as well. Nowadays, it's really common for people to try to weaponize therapy language to justify their own bad behaviors. Hey, I'm not trying to be mean, but our reports are due tomorrow and we still don't have your part yet. Wow. Okay. Crossing my boundaries here. Are you trying to trigger me by bringing up my past traumas?
People like this are insufferable.
Huh? What are you talking about? I'm just asking about the project. Oh, so now you're gaslighting me, belittling my trauma and acting like a narcissist. What?
Literally, like, bro, the amount of that going on is ridiculous, bro. Major victim complex is ridiculous, dude.
What trauma are you talking about? Oh my God, you're gonna make me relive this. In college, I had to submit a report once and I got a D on it. It ruined me for years.
And if this is on Twitter, you're getting quote retweeted. Oh, you insensitive. Why will you talk about her trauma? Why the report, you son of a... Cancel this man. Send emails to his school. Send emails to his job. Get him fired. It's terrible, dude.
And it's not trauma. That's just something you didn't like. You're such a manipulator. When it comes to Gen Z, I think
I like this guy, bro. He's on point.
A lot of times we have a bad habit of using buzzwords like mental health and depression to describe the ways we feel. And they might not always be accurate. And sometimes this leads to older generations thinking we're all moody and can't get anything done. But I don't think Gen Z is more sensitive than previous generations. I even think we've been desensitized to a lot of things thanks to the internet.
I think people want to act like they care, to be honest with you. To either be seen or felt, to feel that connection. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, if I'm offended by this and other people are offended by this, we're a nice little group and we're connected. You know what I mean?
But I think that we're some of the first to actually have the vocabulary and education necessary to have a dialogue about things like anxiety and depression. 50-year-olds don't really talk about their mental health. That's why you have so many—
Bro, these old motherfuckers will see people die right in front of them, move the on, won't shed a single tear, and then they'll talk about it like nothing. Like, brother, you're describing a war. What are you talking about? And you're like, well, it was just Tuesday. Motherfucker, are you good?
Many older people who are bitter and easily agitated all the time. They get anxious and depressed too. But outside of therapy, they don't have much of an outlet to talk about these things. Gen Z
Oh.
is pushing for that to change. But unfortunately, this does come with challenges, especially for young Gen Z men. And I know that conversations about men's mental health are usually only brought up to take away from talking about women's mental health.
Brother, I feel like a lot of people be hating on men and be like, men are the problem, men ain't that. When motherfuckers be having self-inflicted problems. And really the only problem is you're broke and bored, to be honest with you. And I'm not talking about specific cases. Obviously, like if a man does a fucking crime, obviously he's at fault. What I'm saying is a will cause her own problems and then it'll be the dude's fault. I don't want to go into this man versus girl. I feel like that's like maybe like 1/3 of it that I see online. You sure he the problem?
But as a young Gen Z adult man, I'm just asking you to hear me out here. I remember hanging out with my homies one day and I asked them an interesting question. Yeah, boy, I'm cooking you. Bro, you always cheating, bro. Bro, how am I cheating? You're just buns. Nah, I got next, bro. I'm about to clap you. Yo, bros, random question. What's up, bro? Bro, like, does your dad have friends? What do you mean? Like, does your dad have a bunch of guys he just hangs out with? Kind of like we're doing now. Now that I think about it, I don't think he does. Yeah, mine neither. He just kind of hangs out with my mom and that's it. Yes.
Mom and then mom's friends type. Ooh.
You guys think we'll be like that when we're older too? I hope not, because I'm about to hit this dude with the meanest Kamehameha. Bro, come on, that's not fair. And that conversation kind of opened my eyes to the fact that for a lot of men, it's very easy to find yourself socially isolated. I think that for a lot of guys, balancing work or school, taking care of yourself, and pursuing your personal goals can cause you to withdraw from your community because you're too busy just trying to survive. And I'm not saying this is entirely exclusive to men. A lot of my female friends have said that they struggle connecting with other women too, because a lot of young women either just want to complain about men or only come to them to talk about their problems and then go ghost once they feel better. But unfortunately, as a guy, that's not a perspective I can really comment meaningfully on. I do know that at least for women, they do tend to rely on each other more than men do when they're going through things. And I wish more men felt the same way.
It's hard to open up, bro. This is from my perspective as a dude, right? I feel like everybody's going through shit. Let's say I have a dude friend, I go to him and I have all this baggage and I know for a fact he's going through some probably even worse. You know what I mean? So I just keep that to myself because it's like, if I talk about it, it's not going to help. You see what I'm saying? I know some people are going toxic masculinity or whatever. Dude, suck my shut up.
Instead, a lot of young guys are conditioned to think that the world doesn't care about their problems, so they never—
No, what they don't though. If we're gonna be honest, literally the world does not care at all. Maybe your family cares a little bit, okay? But in all actuality, no one gives a— When you wake up, first thought is you. When you go to sleep, the first thought is you, right? You're gonna be like, damn, I gotta take a piss. Damn, I'm tired. The first thing is always like, I. Like, no one cares about anyone else, bro. You know what I mean? That's bull.
Support. So when you're laying in that king size bed with no queen, sometimes you gotta turn on the goth girlfriend ASMR roleplay and cry yourself to sleep. However, I wish that this was something that was completely harmless, but unfortunately, I think we all know that some guys have unhealthy ways of dealing with their problems, and they do and say things that are harmful to others.
Dude, listen, I think if you're going through the best thing to do is focus on yourself, go get a hobby, and then hit the gym. That's like what's worked for me, and I feel like it could work for a lot of people. And even if it doesn't work for a lot of people, at least you could look around and be like, wow, I look hot when I'm naked because I have so much muscles, and wow, I'm really successful, and that's good. Or go to therapy. A therapist, bro, they're gonna listen to my problems, go home, and then be in an abusive relationship trying to hear out my problems. Like, don't you get beat? Stop it. I just seen you do lines of cocaine, okay? Stop with me. I'm not trusting you with my secrets.
Incel is a word that's been thrown around a lot recently to describe guys that have these beliefs. And this might be a hot take, but I don't believe most of these guys truly are hopeless rejects. I know having empathy for what's associated with some of the worst parts of this ideology is hard, but I think the truth is that a lot of young men are simply just misguided. We know that being a Gen Z adult is a challenging and confusing time, and I think that a lot of young men are seeking guidance for handling these challenges.
They have
Things
no daddy.
like bettering yourself, financial success, mental health, personal fitness, finding happiness and fulfillment in life, and yes, even getting a girlfriend are all struggles young people face. And a lot of times, you're gonna fail when you're chasing these things. Sadly, for a lot of young men, there isn't anyone there to help them pick themselves back up when they do. So a lot
The lonely life. I don't think it's for men though. I think it's for everybody, for sure.
of guys feel abandoned when they're trying their hardest to be their best. No one is talking to young men. And sadly, the only ones reaching out to them are influencers and podcasters with a harmful agenda. Thanks for letting me borrow your calculator, bro. You really came in clutch for me. No problem, bro. I was
no.
just chilling watching this new podcast. Ah, dude, you're watching these guys?
Women.
You gotta turn that kind of stuff off. You're gonna be scaring the shotties. Bro, it's not even that bad. They just talk about self-improvement. Welcome back to Trad and Chad, the show where we hate women and you should too.
Insane, bro. Holy shit. It hurts how accurate that is. It's insane, brother. Oh no, I understand it. I know why they do it. They say outlandish shit just to get views. You know what I mean? Because if they don't get views, no one's gonna fucking listen. You know what I mean? So they be saying all that crazy shit and then they'll go with the message. They could just go with the message and not be hateful or slander anyone, but like, who gonna watch?
Bro, it's just jokes, bro. Just keep watching. Listen, guys, you can't just be laying in bed all day. You need to get up and do something productive with your day. You can't sit around doing nothing wondering why your life isn't getting better. See, bro, they're all about positivity. And also, women shouldn't be allowed to vote.
Like literally what I just said. Why? Why do they do that? Just leave it, just end it with a period. You don't have to continue.
Men are clearly way smarter than them.
Like, listen, we complement each other perfectly. Men and women, we complement each other perfectly. It is not a battle. We do not have to fight. It doesn't have to be man versus women. It could be man and woman, and we could just chill, brother. Like, I don't get it. It's so dumb, dude.
That boys go to college to get more knowledge, and girls go to Jupiter to get more stupider. You can't argue with science.
Stupid
Exactly.
smile.
And
Is that
liberals
Gojo?
want you to think. You were saying? Okay, I didn't expect them to say all that. Mental health for guys is tricky because I think a lot of men's mental health advocates are really just preying on vulnerable young men for financial gain. They aren't actually trying to help,
Literally.
but are instead turning young men's pain into prejudice,
True.
feeding them a toxic ideology that only further alienates them from their community. I think a big mistake a lot of guys make is thinking that they need to do everything alone. So many young men decide they want to make a change in their life and they immediately shut themselves away and try and lock in.
Well, that's what I do. I'm not gonna lie to you.
But honestly, this is the most counterproductive way to go about it.
Lies.
Isolation isn't the answer.
Lies.
Community is. No matter what your goals are, you'll reach them a lot faster if you work with other people to get there. Whether you want to get jacked, chase your dreams, or even find someone to love.
That I'll stay by myself and do it by myself. And when I do it by myself, no one can say they did it for me or help me. Oh my God, I'm the problem. I'm part of the problem. Oh no, that's not good.
Even the dorkiest, most introverted guy can get a girl
bro,
if he has
it's
the right
in my
homies in his
bones.
corner to bring out the best in him. I know that if you're a young guy who genuinely tries his best to be a good person, it can be really confusing when the sentiment you hear from other people is that you're trash and that it's your fault the world is
Men
the
are
way
so
it
trash.
is.
Preach,
I think
sis.
all of us in Gen Z have heard that a million times regardless of gender. It seems unfair when you're blamed for the
True.
actions of other people you've never even met for things you would never even do. But I think of it like a house on fire. Even if you didn't set it on fire, if you're not doing something to help put it out, you're still kind of just letting it burn. And you might not be a firefighter who's ready to rush into action to put it out yourself.
Who not? I'm gonna save a kitty. Who not? I'll run in that mother. Grab the kitty and run out, and I'll spit on the fire and put it out.
But there are still other ways we can all be useful. I'm not saying you need to be a pick-me and take accountability for things that aren't even your fault. I'm just saying that
Like, damn, girl. Oh, these periods, girl. Ooh, I wish I could punch your pussy right now just to fix that period, girl. I'm your ally. I'm here for you. I care about you.
you have the ability to choose how other people view you on an individual level. And you don't need to do it alone. You shouldn't expect to do it alone either. I know I said before that Gen Z is finding it hard to connect with each other, but that doesn't mean that there aren't people out there looking for it. I think Gen Z's greatest strength right now is the power of choice. Throughout our entire childhood, the world was constantly transforming. And now that we're adults, we're walking into what is basically uncharted territory, meaning that we get to decide what the future holds. I think that embracing community is something we should do more. Individuality is important, it's how we express ourselves. But we shouldn't be afraid to share ourselves with others too. When
I don't know.
I go to the store, my mom always expects me to bring her back a chocolate bar. And for a while, I didn't really understand why. If she wanted a chocolate bar so bad, why doesn't she ever just buy one herself? But I realized she was teaching me a lesson about thoughtfulness. And if I was at the store getting things for myself, maybe I should think of someone else for a second too.
Ooh.
A chocolate bar costs about $1. And that's a pretty small price to pay to make someone else's day that much brighter.
True.
Thanks for watching the video.
Oh my
Don't forget
God.
to follow me on Twitter, and thanks for 40K.
Dude, amazing video. Holy, this guy is insane.